Orange County. Friday, October 4th, 2024. While driving his motorcycle at very high speeds through the streets of Los Angeles, law enforcement appeared to back off and then began pursuing the driver instead of pursuing them. The long-haired motorcyclist was traveling at highway speeds exceeding 120 miles per hour in Glendale, Silver Lake, downtown, and Boyle Heights. The motorcyclist was also weaving through traffic, avoiding cars on the highway. The cyclist was talking to the drivers on the road. It was not clear if he was a man or a woman.
Visible? Probably not. They're usually mounted behind that tire, and you can't really see them. So we just don't know. I don't have that information right now. These speeds seem reasonable if there was no traffic. There's a lot of traffic down there. You're watching it, and every time he gets by those cars and kind of shares the lane, it really, truly, my stammering isn't for effect. My stammering is literally because I do worry that this could come to an end very, very quickly. I always wonder to myself, those motorcyclists, they love to share lanes with cars, but they seem to frown on it when you pull up next to them in a lane. I don't understand. I mean, you're all about sharing lanes. Why don't you want to share a lane with me? Anyways, that's Sandra. What are they?
Wow.
And this is the thing too. We see all that hair going on down there, and I don't want to go in assuming guy or gal, but I just kind of venture to say maybe it's a guy. It could be a female rider, but you can see the rider starting to get a little fatigued, riding with one arm, with one hand right there. Don't know what that other action was. Now we're coming up on another motorcycle. He's handing
off
something off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? I would venture to say, you know what? I'm going to take a stab at this, and somebody's going to say you're wrong. I venture to say that was some kind of GoPro. I bet you the motorcyclist just handed off the GoPro for some reason. What that was all about, don't know. And we were talking about this earlier because we were on the internet. It is a motorcyclist, but they have the technology now. They can make phone calls with their helmets. Everything is, spoken. They don't need to pull out their phone or anything like that. So maybe this person was making phone calls, trying to get somebody to meet them. Maybe that was a rider that that he knew was going to be there and handed off whatever they just handed off. Again, though, this right now doesn't look that dangerous. But then when you look at those speeds and you realize you're going 90 miles an hour cutting through traffic. Sandra, I'm just so worried that somebody's going to make a turn and this is going to end in a bad way.
That's right. Not only for the motorcyclists, of course, Stu, but all the drivers down there as well, not expecting somebody to be a bullet coming past them at 100 miles per hour on the highway on a motorcycle. Well, it looks like they're trying to engage that car right there, maybe, talking to them.
Right.
But you also wonder if there's a GoPro involved, if they're making calls, connecting with another motorcycle, if this is a joyride or some kind of stunt.
Well, all those things are very possible. These are the things we watch these pursuits and we just don't know. I was taking a stab at it. It's been a while since I've been doing anything with motorcycles. I think that's a CBR. I think that's a Honda. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure somebody out there is going to know better than me. But it definitely has racing tags on it. Those are numbers that don't know. I mean, this could be somebody who's a professional rider on the weekends or does racing, and maybe that's one of the reasons why it didn't stop, because maybe the motorcycle isn't registered and they just don't want to have it impounded. What they're doing right there, very clever. We can't see them right now, but how long are you going to pull that off? And is this what what is this? Is this like going to be one of those Fast and Furious? Is there like a door going to open up and the bike's going to go into one of the cargo containers? I don't think so. I'm very curious what was going on there when we didn't see that motorcycle for a few moments. But this rider clearly seems to be pretty comfortable in a very tense situation, which just adds to all those questions. Who is this person?
Right.
Why are we still pursuing it? Because a lot of times we'll hear policy and law enforcement will just let a bike go because of the dangers and the high speeds.
That's right, and you said this was in Compton. Are we still in that area now? I see, yes, Compton. And
Yes.
clearly very comfortable, knowing their way, navigating through the highway there, and definitely through the streets, almost kind of showboating at this point, just weaving in and out of the lanes. And so far, again, the initial pursuit was a response to the speed.
Right. That in a lot of times, you know, I'm not encouraging, I'm not giving away any secrets. A lot of times law enforcement, especially with a motorcycle, they will, you know, if it just speed, they will just kind of let it go, or they will try to get a license plate and then they'll door knock those people later on or make a note somewhere, and if the bike gets pulled over, it's something that they'll talk about. But you can see it. This motorcycle, very maneuverable, high speeds, on the freeway. Any CHP vehicle except another motorcycle would have a hard time keeping up with this bike. Even the motorcyclist. You know, I'm sure a lot of the California Highway, but I know a lot of the California Highway Patrol enforcement guys actually passed a couple of them and they didn't engage. So clearly they know this is going on. Clearly they have an idea where this bike is, but they're not going to engage because of those high speeds. They are concerned about the driver's well-being and any of the people around them. But that bike continues to make these high-speed maneuvers. There you go. We're going from the far right to the far left to the far right. Not a political term. And you can see it right there. Continuing to move along, high speeds, cutting these corners, cutting the, you know, just weaving between all these cars, threading the needle as it would be. Always very scary.
I wonder how long this type of motorcycle can sustain these types of speeds. Thankfully, we're not seeing 100 miles per hour at this point. We saw him back down a little bit to 75, 80s, but again, picking up speed to the 90s range, I believe. I can't really see very well. But yes, still on the freeway, didn't get off the freeway onto the surface roads at this point, but 87 right now on the highway. Thankfully, there's some bit of relief because it is Friday, perhaps, that a lot of people have a long weekend because of the high holy days, and there's not a lot of traffic, it seems.
Right now, not a lot of traffic. There's no doubt about that. Right now, not a lot of traffic, and good for the rider. You know, I kind of wonder, because like I said, it started out in Altadena. Oh, wow. And why was this person in Altadena? Now, clearly could have been, you know, out there running errands, doing something, picking up the motorcycle for all we know. But now we're up in, you know, coming out of Long Beach, and you got to wonder, is this a destination? Or because it started up there, you'd think that that bike comes from that area. So we are far from the Altadena area. And as far as how long this bike can go, it all depends on how much fuel it has in there. And also, I've been told in the past that these motorcycles, even at those high speeds, high revs, good, you know, higher fuel consumption, they can go for a good 300 miles on a tank, maybe even more. So this could be going on for quite some time. The CHP helicopter that relieved the sheriff's ship, I'm venturing to say probably has a full bag of gas. They'll have more than 2 hours in the air to follow this. But that rider, the clock is ticking. You've got great skills. You're doing, you know, I'm not saying that, but you're really taking a lot of chances. And every time he passes one of those cars at a high speed, I'm just thinking, you know, every time you're getting lucky, one of these times you might not, and I just don't want to see that.
That's right, and let's show everybody what happened just moments ago.
Rides, triple digits, moving through traffic, quick lane changes, and this is, you know, this is end of lens right here for as far as we in Skyfox go. So we can get a little closer with digital. That's it. But it gives you an idea at the distance that this bike is creating between us and the helicopter. We are climbing as well as making our way forward, so there is a little bit of that. Looks like we are getting back off the freeway again. Dylan, if you got me? He's busy talking to somebody else, so I'm going to keep an eye on him. Getting back off the freeway, looks like Warner, that's what it says on my machine. And definitely taking Warner off the freeway. And he's going behind us, Dylan, if you got me. No, you don't have me. Perfect. So definitely going behind us. There's Dutch Brothers. It would have been good coffee. And let's see where he pops out here. Please make a turn. Thank goodness. So we're not getting too far from it. Dylan, you still got me? Dylan? All right, looks like we're in a residential neighborhood. Maybe this is coming to an end. Looks like he's parking it. Dylan, he's 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. He just stopped behind this industrial area. He's behind a tree, of course. I hear you. Oh, he went through the drive-through. He went through the drive-through and I lost him. I wonder if anybody else has him. Does anybody else have him? What about that other station that we don't talk about? Yeah, I bet you he went through the drive-through and he went back out. He gone. He gone. He gone.
The motorcyclist eventually exited the 405 freeway at Warner Avenue in North Shore and appeared to be driving toward Tommy's Restaurant in the Entertainment District and Magnolia Avenue. The motorcyclist then disappeared into the trees.